Arguably one of the best players ever on the Washington Wizards franchise, Gilbert Arenas was a phenomenon. Gilbert, in his prime, was an amazing scorer. For a minute or two, he was right there with Kobe when it came to the offensive side of the ball. He tore it down at the NBA for the Wizards, but his career took a drastic turn and he ended up playing in China for the Shanghai Sharks. So, what exactly happened to him and what were the reasons of his downfall? Well, stay tuned till the end of this video to find out, as in this video, we're going to talk about the rise and fall of the Washington Wizards power forward, Gilbert Arenas. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Early days in college career. Born in Tampa, Florida, Arenas always had passion for basketball, and he idolized the legend himself, Michael Jordan. Arenas was raised in the San Fernando Valley section of Los Angeles, where he played basketball at Ulysses S. Grant High School. His stats are not known, but he was one of the best players ever the school produced. His number 25 was retired by the school. Arenas enrolled in the University of Arizona and played basketball there, following his passion. One of his teammates, Richard Jefferson, would later join him in entering the 2001 NBA draft. In 2001, Arenas' sophomore year, he helped lead Arizona to the national championship game, where they lost to the Blue Devils 82-72. Shortly after the tournament, Arenas announced that he was foregoing his last 2 years at college and would enter the 2001 NBA draft. Early NBA career. After a productive college career, Arenas entered the 2001 NBA draft. Despite strong consideration from many teams in the first round, Arenas fell to the second round, being selected with the 31st overall pick by the Golden State Warriors. Arenas started 30 games and averaged 10.9 points per game for the Warriors, who finished in last place in the Western Conference that season. In 02-03, his sophomore season, Arenas received the NBA Most Improved Player award and was named Most Valuable Player of the rookie-sophomore game during the NBA All-Star Weekend. Washington Wizards. Sometimes things just happen perfectly. After being walked all over by the greatest player in the history of the sport, Washington lucked into one of the most likable superstars the game has ever seen, as if after the 2002-03 season, Arenas became a restricted free agent. He reportedly flipped a coin to decide among several teams seeking to sign him, including the Wizards, Warriors, and the Los Angeles Clippers. The Washington Wizards offered him a 6-year, $60 million contract, and the Warriors couldn't offer him a similar deal, even if they wanted to, because of their salary cap. Peak years. The Wizards have been to the playoffs just once in 16 years before 05, when Arenas helped lead them to 3 straight postseason runs. He made All-NBA 3 times, the first Wizards bullet player to do so since Elvin Hayes in the 70s. The only other Washington player to make All-NBA this century was John Wall, and he's done it once. By his second year in Washington, Arenas was an NBA All-Star, and by his third year, he was competing for scoring titles, averaging 29.3 points per game, second in franchise history, only to Walt Bellamy's 31.6 in 61-62. Arenas wasn't simply an NBA star either. He was a showman with a knack for coming through in big moments. He made series of buzzer beaters during the brief time that he was at his peak powers, including one to win a playoff game against the Chicago Bulls in 05. Arenas had made other clutch shots during the regular season, including one against the Milwaukee Bucks on January 3, 2007, when he turned and casually walked away, as if he knew it was going in. He made fans who showed up to the arena always feel like they could see something special that night. Arenas held the franchise record for points in a single game with 60, set on December 17, 2006, on the night the late Kobe Bryant famously said Arenas had no conscience. That game fell with a 30-day stretch while Arenas scored 50 points or more 3 times. Just 6 days later, after dropping 60 at Staples Center, he scored 54 against the Steve Nash-led Phoenix Suns, one of the best NBA teams of that decade. Arenas' size and strength for a power guard, 6'4" with broad shoulders, was a major matchup problem. He was before his time in that regard, a bully at the position years before point guards like Wall and Westbrook became commonplace. Arenas combined that strength with a quick first step and deep shooting range that was just unbelievable to watch. He could score a three-pointer from 35 feet or carry the ball to the rim for a dunk. That combination led to him being one of the best in the game at free throws, where he shot 80.3% for his career. He averaged as many as 10 free throws per game back in 05-06. On June 9, 2008, Arenas officially opted out of the final year of his contract, but said that he would re-sign with the Wizards if they retained teammate Antoine Jamison, also a free agent. The Wizards indeed signed Jamison. Arenas was offered a 5-year contract worth more than $100 million by the Golden State Warriors and another max deals by the Wizards, a 6-year deal worth $124 million. On July 13, 2008, Arenas signed a 6-year contract worth $111 million with the Wizards. Downfall: tendon injury. When asked to point out where Gilbert Arenas' downfall began, most would cite his infamous decision to bring guns into the Wizards' locker room on December 21, 2009. But those who followed his career closely know the turning point was actually on April 4, 2007. That night, the Wizards were playing the Charlotte Bobcats when forward Jared Wallace missed a layup in traffic and fell onto Arenas' left knee, tearing his medial collateral ligament (MCL). Even at the time, the injury did not seem as daunting as a torn anterior cruciate ligament (ACL) or Achilles tendon. Yet little did we know Arenas would never be the same. That moment was the beginning of the end of one of the most promising careers in the NBA at the time. Arenas rose to stardom quickly, but he crashed just as fast, leaving many to this day wondering what could have been. Firearms incident. On December 24, 2009, it was reported that Arenas had admitted to storing unloaded firearms in his locker at Capital One Arena and had surrendered them to team security. In doing so, Arenas not only violated NBA rules against bringing firearms into the arena, but also violated DC ordinances as well. The DC Metropolitan Police and the U.S. Attorney's Office began investigating, and on December 14, 2010, Arenas was charged with carrying a pistol without a license and violation of Washington, D.C.'s gun control laws. Arenas pleaded guilty on January 15th to the felony of carrying an unlicensed pistol outside a home or business. The NBA suspended him indefinitely without pay until its investigation was completed. On December 2, 2010, Arenas wrote an open editorial in the Washington Post in which he apologized for his actions, particularly for failing to be a better role model to young fans and for making light of a serious situation. On December 26, 2010, Arenas was convicted for his crimes and was sentenced to 2 years probation and 30 days in a halfway house. Arenas started his sentence in the halfway house on December 9th. He was released on May 7th. After the incident, everything changed for him and he was traded to Orlando Magic, where he spent 1 season. Arenas also had a short stint with the Memphis Grizzlies and eventually ended up playing for the Shanghai Sharks in China. And that is it for today's video. Thanks for watching and subscribe to this channel. Also, do drop your comments below on what you think of Arenas' career as a whole, and where would he be today if it wasn't for his injuries and the gun incident. See you in the next video. Till then, peace out.